and what does Gyanberry have to offer to you all. But I think for all the students who have, this is the first time interacting with Gyanberry, I think it's just important for you to know what we do. So without further ado, I'd like to first talk about us. So this slide, can you go to the previous slide, please? Yeah, sorry. So the first thing is student first medical admissions platform. This slide highlights what Gyanberry stands for as a platform dedicated to medical admissions. At Gyanberry, we prioritize students above everything, and we ensure that their aspirations are met with unbiased, transparent, and technology driven guidance. So, we work with a team of world class counselors who are here to help the students and help students navigate through the complexities of the medical admissions. And whether, like I mentioned, it's choosing the right university, navigating you through the admission process, maybe giving you a little bit idea about if there's a scholarship or not, we are here to support you. So this next slide covers a little bit about what we do. So we leverage technology and keep students at the heart of everything. As I mentioned, our focus is student success, and as year passes by, we are working on it and trying to give the best of service delivered. We are also the finalist in PIE Awards held in London under the category of student counseling. This just talks about how committed we are to counseling students, and with so many years of experience we have had, that got us there to be nominated. We are also appointed as an authorized exam representatives for certain countries like Czech Republic, Hungary, and Italian medical universities. And we also we're known as the industry leaders and a trusted brand for medical admission since a decade. Now, moving to the next slide, I have bifurcated our services and products. So first, I'd like to let you know what are the product offerings we have. Now, for all the students who are looking to study abroad, if you have not yet begun navigating different countries and universities, you can all head out to our website and find ample of information that can help you and support you with your decision. So in terms of product-based offering, we have an AI-powered university eligibility checker, and this is going to allow students from British curriculum, Indian curriculum, IB curriculum, and American curriculum check on their eligibility. This doesn't mean that only students from these curriculums can apply. Of course, if you are a student from another curriculum like French, SABIS, MOE, at the moment we don't have the eligibility check, the information on the eligibility checker, but you can always connect with us via counseling session so that we can inform you on the various eligibility details for the universities. Next is our unbiased university course finder. So if you are interested to explore what are the 15 plus different countries we assist with, what are the 150, 300 plus courses we have, then you can head out to our website. You'll be able to see what are the different countries, what are the different courses offered, and what are the different universities offering it. Then we also have a common application and admission platform. So on the website, once you have eventually signed up with us, you will, it's a common platform where you'll be able to perform several different activities. You can upload your document, you can track the status of your applications, you will be able to maintain your applications for several universities on one platform. And last but not the least, we also have self-study materials which you can take advantage of. So whether you're a student who requires our assistance in application process, or whether you're a student who has already applied to universities, you can avail these study materials. We have study materials for biology, chemistry, physics, math, and logic, which you can utilize. And these are 100% online, and you can utilize them, for any university entrance exam across the globe. I'd just like to highlight, if you do have any questions, you can make a note of them, and towards the end of the session, I'm going to give everyone the opportunity to ask the question so that it'll be easier and we can also learn from each other. Next is regarding our service-based offerings. Now, we do have one-on-one bespoke counseling and tutoring, through world-class tutors. So we have tutors from different parts of the world for different kinds of subjects. If you are looking to apply to the UK medical universities, we have UCAT preparations in place. If you're looking for Italian public universities, we have IMAT preparation. And if you're looking for your standard subject-wise preparation like biology, chemistry, physics, math, or logic, we have tutors for that as well. We also have a service called Super Mentor. So this is an excellent service where you can connect with senior students abroad, and you can speak with them. You can understand what was their experience in that particular university or country, so that you make a more informed decision when you're accepting offers. There are several medical universities that not only have entrance exam, but sometimes they also have interviews. So we have MMI interviews there are MMI interviews and regular interviews, which we will talk about more in detail in the upcoming slides. But we do have one-on-one training sessions for interviews as well. And we can help you with summer schools and internships. So if you're a student who is starting, university, searching universities earlier, then we can help you to profile build. So we have a dedicated slide towards the end of the presentation where we are talking a little bit more on the profile building activity. And then last, we also assist with the visa service. So all of these services, what is mentioned on the screen, are something we can assist you with. For the services which are not mentioned in the screen, unfortunately, those services are not provided by us at the moment. The next slide here is just a review of all the various universities that we have placed students in. Again, these are just a few out of the many universities that we've placed students in. And we have students coming in from different curriculums, different nationalities, going to different universities across Europe, UK, etc. Now, certain key facts that I would like all medical students to keep in mind. I'm sure you all are very well aware of these points, but it is just, better to reiterate this so that we're reminded of, what a competitive program we're getting into and what are the necessary preparations we need to look out for. So first thing is that all the medical schools are very competitive. The competition can definitely vary from university to university. There are certain universities that are solely focused on the students' academic performances. So they would just be requiring the best possible score in your grade 12 or your grade 13. There are some set of universities which would be looking at entrance exam preparation. And the entrance exam could be, you could be competing for as low as 10 seats internationally, going up to like 120 seats for international students, alongside having a strong personal statement, which is also called an essay, or having performed well in the interviews. Okay, so these are some things you need to keep in mind. That is why we strongly recommend all students to register at least 1 year in advance before they go to university, so that they are well planned and they have a schedule fixed for themselves. And also they can ensure that they're not missing on any important deadlines coming forth. Now, like I again mentioned, some of them have exams, some of them don't have exams. Of course, universities that have exams, their main focus is the entrance exam. But some universities which don't have entrance exam, then they're fully focusing on your academic performances, co-curriculars, etc. Admission requirement definitely varies country to country. We have a dedicated slide in the upcoming, we have a dedicated slide talking about the requirements, which will be spoken a little bit more by my colleague. Generally for medicine, the duration is a 6 years medicine program widely across a lot of countries. We do have certain countries which offer 5 years medicine. For instance, countries like Ireland, UK, Malaysia, they do have a medicine program for 5 years, but majorly a lot of countries follow the 6 years pattern. And some exceptions are the US and the UK, where you have 4 years of pre-med first, then you need to do the 4 years of medicine. Okay, so this is a standard duration that you would be looking at for medicine. When it comes to dentistry, worldwide it is 5 years. And for veterinary program as well, worldwide it is 5 years. There will be some minor 1 or 2 universities which would have a 6 years degree, but majorly they're 5 years in duration. Over and above that, if you are a student who is, probably not meeting the year one requirements for a particular university, then there is something called the foundation program, which is also called as preparatory year, which is ideally 1 year long, which is taken before you begin medicine. So if you're not meeting the requirements for year one, then you can do a foundation and then progress to year one. Accreditations. Now, these are some accreditations which we have mentioned. These are some important accreditations out of the many which you must look forth when you're, shortlisting universities. For example, if you're looking at any medical university to be recognized worldwide, you need to make sure that they're recognized by WHO or the FEMIR, so that you have that confidence that if this university is recognized by WHO, it's recognized in majority of the countries abroad. If you are somebody who's looking to go to the UK for your post graduation, then you're looking for that university to be recognized by the GMC, which is the General Medical Council UK. If you are an Indian student looking to go back to India, you need to look for the guidelines set forth by NMC, which is the National Medical Council of India. You need to check what is the conditions that are put forth by NMC, and you just need to ensure that you're meeting with their conditions and passing their entry exam. Similarly, when it comes to the US, you're looking at checking if the university is recognized by ECFMG, which is an important accreditation in the US, and they also have state-wise accreditations like California Medical Board. Okay, so these are just some important accreditations to keep in mind while you're shortlisting universities. The next slide is, I think, a very, very important slide for all our students and parents present on the call. I think this slide is going to give you a great idea about the various countries that we can help you with, as well as the yearly expense in each of these countries. So if you are having a tight budget for education and if you're looking for something more affordable, then you will find countries like Georgia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Slovakia, Egypt, Moldova, and Italian public universities around the range of $11,000 to $17,000 yearly. What I would like to highlight here is this is not just the tuition fees, this is the tuition fees and the living expenses, which is typically your expense for 1 year when you go and study in these countries. And then as you progress to the Central Europe, maybe a few Eastern European countries, the overall expense increases slightly. So if you're looking for countries like Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Croatia, the cost goes up to $18,000 to $30,000 annually. And then as you look at the other countries, say for example you go towards the west side of Europe like Germany, Spain, Italian private universities, the cost goes up to $35,000, $40,000 yearly. And then last is the English speaking countries, which is your UK, which is Australia, Ireland, and we also have Qatar, UAE, which come into a higher budget like $50,000 to $75,000 annually. Okay, so you can make a note of this particular table if you have any queries. If you want, you can take a screenshot. This is going to help you for your future. And if you've not yet started, looking into the budget or shortlisting universities, start looking at it now so it becomes easier for you to budget yourself for the next 6 years. The next slide is talking about a little bit more about the foundation and the preparatory year that we have. Now, the reason I'm highlighting a little bit about this particular option is because it is not very, very popularly known to a lot of students. And it is very important to understand that what this particular year has for you. So first thing, foundation year and preparatory year is not mandatory for all international students. It is only required by students if you are not meeting with the year one requirements for medicine, number one. Number two, if you don't feel ready to begin with university immediately and you think you need some, you need some time to adjust to a bigger community, or you need some preparation for yourself, or you want to prepare your mind before you get into something as tedious as medicine, you can start with, foundation and preparatory year. So basically the foundation year provides the academic and linguistic preparation for medical schools. For example, if you're applying to a university in Europe, for example, Czech Republic, the foundation year is training you on science related to your program, like biology, chemistry, physics. And they'll also teach you a little bit of the Czech language and Latin language, which will be required and helpful from year one onwards. Over and above that, we do have foundation offered by a lot of countries. There's some of these countries are Hungary, Czech Republic, Poland, Ireland, UAE, and UK as well. So if there are a few students present on the call who have missed the deadlines for UK and you've not got the opportunity to apply to UCAT this year, you could try applying via foundation program, as that is still available and they will be closing soon. Foundation year also improves your chances to get into medical schools, but again, it's not like they provide you a guarantee, because in many of the foundation programs, none of them provide you a guarantee to year one. You still have to, you will be assessed. Probably if you're going to UK, you will be trained for the foundation and then you have to reapply to year one. If there's an entrance exam, you need to give the entrance exam. If there's an interview, you need to clear that. It's just that it better prepares you so that you have better chances to get into year one. The fee range is between $5,000 to $20,000 annually, be it in any country that you're looking at, and there is no entrance exams required for foundation. With that, we come to an end of the foundation slide, and I would like to call upon my colleague, Ms. Sukanya, to take forward and discuss a little bit more on the admission requirements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Good morning, good afternoon to all the students once again. My name is Sukanya and I'm also the Senior Counselor at Gyanberry. Now going forward, let me talk about briefly about the admission requirements, and these are the common admission requirements for medical, medicine program, dentistry or vet med. So in terms of curriculum, for British curriculum, predominantly students who are following GCE A-level or international A-levels, they require minimum of 3 A-levels with, let's say, either recommended or mandatory science subjects. It is not required for every university that you need to have all science subjects. So it completely depends on university and country. But if you are applying for medical dentistry or vet med program, it is always recommended that you have at least 2 science subjects in your A-levels. For IB-DP, you are required to have IB diploma with, again, either recommended or mandatory subjects. That means that IB certificate is not accepted from majority of the universities. There could be a possibility that certain university may accept IB certificate as well, but we always recommend that students do have IB-DP before applying to medical dentistry or vet med programs. Coming to CBSE or any Indian curriculum, grade 12 passing certificate is mandatory, like passing the grade 12 subjects with migration certificate is required for any student to enroll at the university. Also, again, subjects, usually if a student wants to apply to medical or dental program, I'm sure you must have taken at least 2 science subjects in your grade 12. Coming to American High School Diploma, or it is also called as US Diploma, they also require the high school diploma before the enrollment, and again, the recommended or mandatory subjects must be science subjects. There could be certain universities or countries, they may require you to have SAT. Certain UAE universities may require you to have MSAT, and for example, if you're applying to UK or Ireland, you also need to have AP subjects, let's say 3 or 4 AP subjects for you to be eligible to apply. All these check eligibility, all these eligibility, as Ms. Pooja had mentioned, and we will also show it to you at the end of the presentation on how you can check your own eligibility for these curriculums through our portal directly. Any student who are not having this curriculum and they have different curriculums can always get in touch with us and we'll be happy to assist you. Apart from your academic subjects, there's also called English proficiency. So IELTS or TOEFL may also be required by some of the universities. Maybe it is not if, let's say, you're following British curriculum or IB, or certain curriculums. If you have English in your higher level, you also may be exempted, but definitely IELTS or TOEFL may be required for the university's application process as well. Now, coming to overview of the admission in terms of timeline. So you must be thinking, okay, I have not yet started, or okay, I have started. What is the timeline I should progress? So shortlisting and finalizing of the universities, ideally, you should start from October, November until April, because there are certain universities where the application process starts a little late and it goes until, let's say, May, June. So that's the reason we have mentioned November to April. You should keep shortlisting and applying to the universities. Now, compilation of the documents, again, very important factor, should be between November to June, because there could be certain documents that you may be required from the school. Let's say predicted grades, enrollment letter, recommendation letter, where your school's involvement is required. Now, we understand, as per our experience, when you are doing your exams in grade 12 or A levels, you don't get time to compile all these documents. That's the reason we always recommend to start early, so that by the time you are finishing your school, you're giving your exams, there is no hassle for you. You have all the documents ready, you just have to submit it to us, and then we do the application. Now, coming to the application submission. Application submission usually happens between November to July. Again, it all depends on the university when they are starting their official application and when is the deadline to complete the application. So it all depends on country, university. Usually, Irish universities, or for example, for UK, the application deadline is October, right? For Ireland, it's November to Feb. So it may vary from country, university as well. Coming to entrance exam, interview, all these will start from Feb until June. So if you are looking for your enrollment for this year, like 2025, then your entrance exams, your interviews will all be scheduled between this academic year, which is from Feb to June. Only for UCAT and for UCAT ANZ, it is the previous year. So for 2025 year enrollment, academic year of enrollment, the UCAT you have to give in 2024. If you're looking for 2026, then you need to make sure that you are giving your UCAT or UCAT ANZ in 2025. Then coming to finalizing admission. So once you start submitting the application, once you have given the entrance exam, you start getting your admission letter, you start getting your enrollment letter, and then comes the hassle of selecting the university. Now, which university you want to finalize, which university you want to proceed ahead, start the visa process, what are the documents required. So all these will happen from April until August. Again, it all depends on when the classes will start, but we always recommend you to start early, because visa usually takes time between 60 to 90 days, depending on the country, depending on the process. It can be time consuming. So if, let's say, you have your admission decision in April or May, don't waste more time to decide and finalize. Immediately decide which university you want to proceed and start your visa application immediately. For let's say September, October intake, the classes will start from September to October. Sometimes it may go up till November. For example, for Italian public universities, because the IMAT exams are conducted quite late, which is in September, usually it happens. So the enrollment is either October end or November first week. Now coming to the documentation. this is an overall idea of what documentation you may require. So in case you have not yet shortlisted, you don't know how to proceed ahead, and you want to go back to your school, you have all this information now so that you can plan accordingly. So student passport copy, I'm sure you all must be having. Certain universities may require birth certificate. So it is not a very common document, but it may be required, especially for the minor students. Then comes the parents' passport copy, which is also not very difficult. If that is below, again, for the minor students, then comes grade 11 AS or equivalent mark sheet or transcript. So basically, you would need your current year academic records, and you should be having your last 2 years academic records as well, which is grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. Anything, let's say midterm results, predicted grades in case you're still studying in grade 12. In case you have already graduated, then of course you will be having your final high school results. So all these documents are very, very important, which you should collect it from your school if you have not yet done. Then coming to English language proficiency, you can give IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, depending on which university you're applying to and what is the requirement. So it will again depend. If you are not applying to any university that requires this, then you need not have to give. Then comes personal statement, which again, Ms. Pooja had highlighted this. Personal statement is very important, which is also called as motivation letter or essay. Again, this can be required from certain universities. This is not a mandatory document for every university, but if it is required, then students must take out some time and start writing the statement in advance, because this is a very important and crucial document for any university to decide on shortlisting of a student. So personal statement, we should not consider it as a casual document. It can hold a lot of importance in your admission and application profile. Then comes letter of recommendation, which is also called as referee information. So letter of recommendation is basically which your school counselor, school principal, your school teacher, like your subject teacher, can give for you if it is requested by the university. So this basically is a document wherein they will be informing why they recommend you as a student. So you should always try to speak to a counselor or a subject teacher who knows you well, like who knows you as a student completely, not only in terms of academics, but also, let's say, for extracurricular, overall how you are as a student is very important for this letter. Now, certain universities may not need a letter. They just need the counselor's details or the subject teacher's details, and they will contact the counselor, the subject teacher directly. So you will have to inform. So again, coming back, you should shortlist, you should know which university you're applying to, what are the requirements. So if you don't know which university you're applying to and if this document is required or not, then there's no point in going to your school counselor or teacher and talking about it. So you should be aware of what documents and what information is required. Then you should go and speak to them and make sure that they are well aware that, okay, this is a requirement and you should have all the details in advance. Then coming to medical fitness certificate, again, this is not a very commonly asked document, but there could be certain university that requires this document with the application submission. So if any university requires this document, we will be giving you the guidelines with our application checklist, that whatever is required and asked by the university will give you enough and sufficient information so that you can submit this document. Again, as informed, these are the broadly taken out the documents that are required. There could be minor documents that may be required depending on university or country you're applying to. Now, again, a very, very important slide is this entrance exam and the interview. Of course, you all are aware, and like Ms. Pooja had also mentioned in one of the slide, that medical universities are very competitive. You understand that first of all, it's medicine or dentistry. Then second, it's a 6 years program or 5 years program, right? So they are, and thirdly, the seats are very limited for international students. So it is always important that you are aware of the subjects, you're aware of the topics. First thing is whether they need entrance exam, they need interview, what is the requirement by the university. Then if entrance exam is required, what are the subjects? Then comes what are the topics. So we will go step by step. For the entrance exam subjects, for let's say Italy, Czech, Poland, predominantly you will see biochemistry, physics, math, logic, verbal reasoning. So it is not only science subjects, but it also requires, certain university requires logic and verbal reasoning based questions as well. For Georgia, most of the universities do not require entrance exam. They may require interview, but certain universities, like for example, University of Georgia, require an entrance exam as well. Again, the subjects you can see bio and chemistry. For Bulgaria, Lithuania, Hungary, the students who are not comfortable with physics or maths, so less to them. Physics and maths are not required. They only require biochemistry and English. Now, this English is slightly towards a medical English. That means the medical terminologies, vocabulary. That part of the English will be asked. Now, the remaining of the countries, again, it depends. We cannot really cover all the countries as we have a lot of countries. Predominantly, it will depend on university to university. For example, in UAE, certain university require entrance exams, certain requires interview only. So we will be providing you all this information in the website. So Pooja will be showing this to you at the end of the presentation. For UK and Australia, as I had mentioned, for UK you require UCAT, and Australia you require UCAT ANZ. UCAT ANZ is also the same exam for New Zealand. If you are looking to apply to New Zealand, it is going to be the same. Now, if you apply to UCAT for UK, you cannot apply to Australia with the same UCAT. So you will, if you're applying to UK and Australia, you need to give different exams. The format is same, the topic of the exams are same, but still you need to register separately for the UCAT NZ and UCAT. The topics of the exam are verbal reasoning, quantitative, abstract, reasoning, decision analysis, and situational judgment. Now, coming to interview. Very important factor for any university or country when you are applying to any university that requires interview solely, or it is a part after the written test. Very important for all the students to understand the format. Now, the format could be panel interview or MMI. So panel interview again could be divided into two aspects. One is one-to-one and one is panel based, like 2-3 people are sitting and they are asking you question. But again, it is like one-to-one. MMI is called multiple mini interview. That means you will be circulated with different stations. So there will be people, different team members from the university who will be sitting in different stations, and you will be rotating from one station to another. Now, MMI could be on-site or online. Usually universities conduct online interviews, but for UK, for example, there could be a possibility of on-site MMI as well. So they might call you at a center and they will be taking the interview. So now coming to what they consider. They will consider academic. Of course, they would want to know the strong science foundation. So even if, let's say, to any university you don't have science subjects and still you're applying to the medicine dentistry program, maybe you're studying separately, they would want to see how how is your foundation, whether you have a strong science foundation or not. Then comes personal qualities. Personal qualities, they would want to see whether you're empathetic, how is your communication skill, how are you thinking, how critical, how's your thought process is during the critical situations. Then coming to motivation. Now, you are applying to medicine for whatsoever reason. They would want to understand, are you really motivated to study medicine or dentistry or vet med? Uh, because they would want to know why you have chosen medicine, one, why this particular university and country, and how is it going to help you in your further future aspirations. So they would want to correlate your aspirations and whether you are fit for that university and the university is fit for you, depending on what aspirations you have. Then comes the healthcare knowledge, awareness of ethical issues, any kind of medical challenges, any kind of research. During COVID, there were a lot of research which had come. So they might ask you questions from anything and everything. Relevant experiences, let's say volunteering, shadowing, healthcare exposure, if you have worked in any kind of NGO, anything that is relevant for the program is good enough. But even if, let's say, you don't have these, that does not um, give you a negative marking from in any kind of interview if, let's say, they have not precisely mentioned. But it is always better to have some kind of volunteering or shadowing work, any kind of internship, any kind of NGO work will also do. For example, UK, Ireland, these kind of countries and the universities, they would definitely want, and they will tell you clearly that we are looking for students who have relevant experiences as a high school student. So also you can plan in advance for this. Last but not the least, adaptability. As I had mentioned, when you are mentioning about the motivation, why you have chosen this particular country, why this university, they would want to see whether you're really culturally fit and you're ready to take the program. It's a 6 years long program. You're going to stay away from your family. Are you mentally prepared to take up the competition? Are you mentally prepared to take up the challenges? Because it's not going to be an easy ride, and it's not a hunky dory for any of the students. So they would want to see how well you are fitting into the environment of the university and the program. Now, key tips. Prepare for the common questions and ethical scenarios. First of all, don't take it for granted. Don't think that, oh, my communication is really good, I know everything, so I don't have to prepare for the interview. I can just go and sit and I'm super confident. Very good if you're confident, but you should always prepare for the common questions and ethical scenarios. Then second is research the university and its program. Okay, if when you're applying to any kind of university and the program, you should know about the university, you should know about the program, about the faculty. Read through the university website in detail. Then comes showcase the passion and commitment to the program. So you will have to make sure that you don't have to boast about yourself too much, but you should have that understanding and show that what you have done, how disciplined you are, how committed you are to study this program. So these are very important factors. Now, evaluation, of course, evaluation is completely holistic. They would want to see your written test, they would want to see your academics, they would want to see your communication, overall confidence. So in interview, never think that I didn't know this or I didn't know that. Maybe I'm wrong, my answer is wrong, or my answer is right. How well you can convince with your answer is very important. Then comes what happens after I complete my medicine. As a counselor, we keep getting this question. So to address again very broadly, you can apply, this is for medical MD program. After MD program, what all pathways you can take. You can take PhD, you can do doctoral programs in EU or outside EU. You can continue and practice in the same country and apply for specialization. You can apply for USMLE if you want to, go to US. You can apply for UKMLE if you want to go to UK. So every student, international students, wherever, whichever country they want to apply to, they will have to ensure that they're meeting the licensure requirements. If there's any license exam, they will have to give. If there's any language exam, they will have to give. For dentistry, it's more or less the same process. Just for USA, you will have to give the MBDE exam instead of USMLE, and for UK, it is ORE exam for the GDC license. Now, as Pooja had mentioned, how we can help you with all the services which we have. She had mentioned about the tutoring and the prep materials and the prep classes. So we have, comprehensive prep materials wherein you will have all the science subjects, reading materials, practice tests, and mock tests. So students, when you are applying for these universities, you will find the common topics for science subjects specifically. You might think that, okay, I'm applying for this university, these are the topics, I'm preparing for my school exam, so I'm prepared for this exam also. Please don't consider that as preparation for the entrance exam. You will have to ensure that you're preparing separately for the entrance exam as well, because the format is very different. When you are studying for your school exams, it's a subjective exam. You're writing your answers, you can explain your answers. But when you are sitting for the entrance exams, it's predominantly MCQ based. There could be negative marking, there could be more than one correct answers, and they're very, very difficult to comprehend which answer is correct, right? Because it's not going to be an easy question and easy answers, easy options. So to understand the tips and tricks on how to solve the question, how to pick the correct answer, that's where our prep materials and prep classes will help you. Now, if you have a lot of materials and you don't want our assistance in materials, you can also take our prep classes assistance. We have batch classes and we have one-to-one tutoring classes as per your convenience. So Pooja will also show you where you can find all these details in our website. So we have UCAT tutoring, IMAT, YOS, and European entrance exams. You can also view our tutors profile. You can also ask us that, okay, I want to take this tutor, I want to have this tutor for my classes. We can also arrange for that. Then coming to interview, we also have a separate page for interview where you can see the demo of them teaching. You can see their profile as well. So just to give you a brief idea, these are our tutors for interview, and you can take our assistance for that. Super Mentor, I'm not going to go once again. This Ms. Pooja had already explained in the previous slide. Profile building, I would just want to take a few minutes to explain this. As I had mentioned, so I'll go back to the volunteering work and shadowing. So if you think you do not have much of, you have not done, and you're applying for this year or next year, you can take this assistance. You can register with us for either the 5-day workshop, 1-day workshop for BLS and first aid training, and 1-day workshop for practical training and visit to a hospital or clinic. So 5-day workshop is basically 3 days theory and 2 days of practical, and 1-day workshops, which we had explained, it's self-explanatory. For 1 day, if you just want the BLS is the basic life support and first aid training. And if you just want the practical training and visit to a hospital, that could also be possible. We need a minimum of 5 students to form a batch, and only then we can schedule the classes as per the dates that are mentioned. So that's it from my end. I would once again want to invite Pooja to take you through the last few slides and conclude the presentation.
Thank you very much, Sukanya, for all the detailed insights regarding the admission requirements. I'm sure a lot of students are going to take a lot of valuable information from this webinar today. And again, just a reminder, if you've not put in your questions, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat or make a note of it, because we're very close towards the end and we will start taking in questions. I'm just going to share my screen. So, Sukanya, if you can let me know if my screen is seen.
Yes.
All right, great. So this is the Gyanberry website. I'm just going to take you through some important, steps that you can follow in order to access information. So if you've not yet visited our website is gyanberry.com, and it'll take you to our homepage where you will find a course. Find a course tool. You can just select the program you want. So currently we have programs like medicine, dentistry, veterinary medicine, and biomedical sciences. So you can select the program you want, for instance, medicine, and you can see a drop down of countries that we can help you with the applications to. Again, I would like to just clarify that we do have a lot of countries that we can assist you with, and we have a lot of countries mentioned on the Finder course, but not all the countries universities we can help you with the application process. Certain universities where we can help you with the application process, it will show you, like it will allow you to go to the next step, but there will be a few universities which processes are complicated or cannot be done from here, so we are not assisting with those universities, but you can still find a lot of information related to the fees, ranking, documents on our website. Okay, so if you are interested, for instance, in medicine, medicine in Australia, you can just hit search, and then you see a drop down of universities that's going to come in front of your screen. Now you will notice that there's a list of universities available in Australia that we can help you with. How to know if we can help you with the application or not? If you click on apply now, it should allow you to go to the next step. It should say shortlist and it should allow you to go to the next step. But in certain universities where you click on apply now, it will give you like a message that unfortunately the applications aren't available for this university. Now, once you come to this page, you'll be able to navigate important information like annual tuition fees, ranking, duration, language of instruction, etc. Now, you see currently the details are locked, and this is for any free user. The details are going to be locked. With the free account that you create on our platform, you will get access to 400 credits. That 400 credits can be utilized to view the information for one or two universities only, which is just like a trial for you. And if you think this is going to be very helpful for you, then you can go to the membership section, and it will allow you to purchase a membership. Our membership is as minimum as $4.99, which is roughly 20 dirhams. Once you pay this membership is going to be valid for the next 30 days, and within the 30 days you're going to get around 8,000 credits to navigate the details on our website. So if I have to show you a demo, I'm just going to show you how it's going to look. So for instance, you have purchased the membership, and when you go to our website and you want to know more about Curtin University in Australia, you can, because I've purchased the membership, I'm going to be able to see the details here. So I can see what is the tuition fees for the university. I'll be able to see what is the ranking, QS as well as THE. If there is no number mentioned here, that simply means that the ranking is not available. It's completely taught in English and it's a 6 years program. Over and above that, I can also unlock the below details, which is details on the course and details on the entrance exam. So if I go here, I'm going to unlock the details, and it's going to it's going to use 100 credits. Every time I unlock a detail, it's going to use 100 credits from the 8,000 credits. And then you can view details like how to enter the university, what is the deadline for the university, what is the application fee payable, what is the annual tuition fees in Australian dollars and US dollars, what are the documents required for the applications to apply to these universities. And if you click on this eye, you will get to see more details about that particular document, or you'll get to see the instructions that you need to know. And then the ranking will also be mentioned just for your reference. If this university has an entrance exam, Then under the entrance exam, you're going to have more questions answered. For instance, this particular university has no exam, so there's nothing mentioned. Is there an interview process? Yes, interview is mandatory. Then you can also find details regarding the UCAT ANZ exam, which is one of the exams required for Australian medical universities. The mode of the examination will be mentioned, the duration will be mentioned, and if there's an exam fee, it will be mentioned. Okay, so this is great information available for every single university on our website, which will help you to shortlist the universities further when you're looking to apply to them. Not just that, if you have a particular budget in mind, for instance, you're looking for universities below $10,000, then unfortunately in Australia, there are no universities below 10,000. So what you can do is just go back, select the countries that you might be interested in, say Croatia, and then try to see if there are universities under your budget. So if you click up to 10,000, again, you see that there are no universities, then you go up to 20,000, and then you'll be able to see their fees. Okay, so when you go to a website, you can navigate through the different countries and universities we have. Not just that, as Ms. Sukanya was covering on the presentation, under our resource tab, there are several important resources that you can take advantage of. So if you're a student who's going to graduate this year, then under the exam date section, you will be able to navigate the various upcoming entrance exams. So we have various countries like Czech Republic, Hungary, Italy having entrance exam. If you click on the drop down, you should be able to see when is their approaching exam and what is the mode of the exam, which is again helpful. Then if you go under tutoring classes, you should be able to check out our professor related details, classes related details. Not just that, you can also check out the demo. So if you are not sure about a particular class and you want to see a demo session by the professor, then you can check the demos on this tutoring class page. And if you are looking to know more about interviews, similarly, we have a page dedicated for interviews. We have a page dedicated for preparatory materials that you can purchase. And we have a page on webinars and podcasts. So today's webinar is just a general webinar, and it's a reminder for all the students, if you've not applied, get to applying to universities now so that you don't miss out on important deadlines. But on the webinar page, you're going to find ample of information related to different other countries. You'll have webinars on Czech Republic, you'll have podcasts on how to write an effective personal statement and CV, information on Bulgaria. If you're interested in Italian Public University, you have videos on that. And again, if you've taken the membership pro, you should be able to unlock these details and watch the information. And if you have, if you're still having any further questions, you can navigate to the Get Help section. You can either book a one-on-one counseling session with one of our experts to help you through, or you can talk to our super mentors. So if you click to talk to our super mentors and you're interested in going to the UK, for instance, just look for United Kingdom, and then you see a list of students available to speak with. You can check out which university they're studying in, what is the duration they are in currently, what is the program they're studying in, and you can just book a one-on-one meeting with them. With that, I come to an end of the session, and I would like to thank all the students to listen, for their patience and attention. And I really hope today's session has been fruitful for you all.